All right, welcome
Hey,
to the Optimize You Education podcast.
I
How's it
love
going,
this. I wish we
Jerry?
do this more often.
Me too.
This is great.
We should make this a daily thing.
I mean, daily's a lot. I think people probably get tired of hearing what I have to say every day.
Fine, you don't want to see me every day.
It's
I
not
get it.
that. I just don't think I have that much to offer every day. I mean,
Okay, now you're not just being modest, you're being a dum dum. That's not true. You could fill out a podcast every day for sure, but we'll get there someday. Well, thanks for sitting down with me today,
Thanks for
Jerry
having me. I
Smith.
love being here in the National Clinic. It's really nice.
Yeah,
This is the Bellmead Clinic. You guys should come see this. It's nice.
it's beautiful. Yeah, we
It's
have a nice wallpapered wall
beautiful
here.
clinic here. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking about the wallpaper.
Can't
today.
see it. It's behind the camera, but it's really nice.
So Jerry Smith, ubiquitous name, but this is the one and only Jerry Smith.
It's like a witness protection name, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I want to unpack some not just terms, but just phrases that get used in our space a lot.
Okay.
Because I think they cause some confusion and just lose meaning. You know, when you hear something over and over,
Yeah.
like how everybody's a narcissist now.
Because you mean they aren't?
I don't think so. Are you a narcissist? Probably, yeah. So Jerry Smith, not a narcissist. Let's start here. We hear about balancing hormones a lot.
Okay.
We at Optimize You talk about optimizing hormones, not just because it's in our name. I'm guessing there's another reason for it. Can you just explain the difference what's the difference between balancing your hormones and optimizing them?
Well, I have a big problem with the idea that we're going to check some level of hormone in you, okay? And there's this range. And they'll go, okay, let's use men, for example, because men are easy. Surprise.
So easy.
The reference range for men's hormones since like the 1930s up until the mid-2000 teens is 300 to 1,000 total testosterone, okay? And I don't think total testosterone is the be-all, end-all. We talk about free, but let's just hang on total for a second. So you're telling me the range is 300 to 1,000. So by that you mean the person at 301 is equal and just as good to the person that's at 999. They feel the same. They act the same. No.
Yeah.
Come on. If that was true, then we wouldn't have a business, to be honest with you. Because the people at the bottom part of the range aren't necessarily as good or feel the same as the people at the high end of the range. But we call them both equal because they're normal. Mm-hmm. So when I hear this, like, I'm going to replace your hormones, or I'm going to find this balance of your hormones. Okay, are you going to replace them and balance them? Excuse me, I just spit on myself. Can you edit that out?
For sure. There's no visible spit, if that makes you feel better.
It felt like there was. Okay, so I'm going to balance your hormones or replace your hormones. Are you going to balance them and replace them at the low end of the range or the high end of the range? And so to me, optimization means that I'm giving you enough for symptom control and to do what's in the literature that they're supposed to do. For example, estradiol. Okay, well, if I just replace them and find a balance, but I replace it to the lower mid quartile of normal, let's just say 40 on the LabCorp scale or 50, you might fix your hot flashes and night sweats like a menopausal female would have, but you don't have the same level of bone resorption improvement, so hardening of your bones, reduction of plaques or modulation of your lipids, the same cosmetic outcome for skin, hair, nail stuff, the same reduction of tau plaquing that would change Alzheimer's occurrences. So just because I replace them to fix the symptoms doesn't necessarily mean I replace them to the level of the literature saying you got the benefit, right?
Yeah.
Optimization means both. I'm giving you quality of life, symptom control, and I'm literally improving like lifespan, health span here. Mm-hmm. So that's what optimization means. Not just blindly giving a drug and go, oh, your symptoms are better, so everything's fixed, right? And it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I wish it did. My life would be really easy.
Yeah, I hear balancing hormones, and my mind immediately goes to like there's one specific hormone that either needs to be amplified or throttled or something to make it jive with the rest of them. But I like optimization better because I mean it's kind of the catch-all of what we're here to do, right?
Yeah, and well, this is about again quality of life and health span, lifespan. So let's do what the evidence in the scientific literature tells us to do. Not just what's popular on Instagram right now or what makes people feel good at that moment for a month. Like it's just not how we do things.
While we're defining things, you just said health span, lifespan. You care to define those two?
I think of it this way. So health span. Let's start with lifespan. lifespan is okay. We both live to age 85 or whatever the national average is now, 81 or 82, and we die. That's okay.
Same lifespan.
We lived 81 years. That's our lifespan. Health span to me is how long do we live well? So you die at 81, like running a marathon, just having mowed your yard and swam, like 6 miles. And I die at 81. Oh, I hit my microphone. Sorry. And I die at 81, like in a nursing home, having been there for a decade.
Yeah.
So we both had the same lifespan, but our health span yours was better than mine. So to me, it's not just lifespan. I want to improve health span. I want to keep people going longer.
Which is why we're an optimization clinic, because we're targeting that health span.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Okay, so a couple of isms to throw at you just to get your thoughts. So
a touch of the isms.
I mean, again, things that we hear floating around, especially with influencers and providers who are on social media. Things like vitamin D isn't a vitamin; it's a hormone.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, if you go back in time and we rewind this tape to say, I don't know, let's go back to the 1950s and 60s, when some supplements were viewed as just like essential things your body needed for one action. So vitamin D, it's about like bones. Okay. It wears a lot of hats. It has a lot of down chain action relative to concentration gradients. So vitamin D is about mood, sleep, strength, libido, bone. It wears a lot of hats. So I think when you look at its functions in different tissues, it is more like a hormone than just a supplement or one single nutrient action. So that's how I look at vitamin D. And there's other examples like that, but vitamin D is a big one because it's the most common deficiency that we see in America. People that live north of Atlanta, like that's kind of the cutoff point. People that live north of that latitude typically have some measurable level throughout the seasons, particularly winter, because the sun is less intense, of vitamin D, either if not fulminant insufficiency, like the cutoff of 30 on the test, but they're living in that 30 to 40 range is still symptomatic, right? So it's like a subclinical deficiency.
Sure.
And so I try to get people up into the 70, 80 range. I hear this rumble. Those of you that are in the know, maybe the range is getting ready to increase. Like maybe 150 is the new high in the range, and not 90 or 100. So if you're living at like 50, and the new range is 50 to 150. Are we living in deficiency constantly above Atlanta? And the answer is probably yes.
Yeah. So should people be supplementing as a general rule?
I feel like yes. I mean, again, here's another problem. So society has changed in the past 50 years.
Yeah.
And we don't necessarily have the same laborious outside job tasks that we historically had. And so lots of us live in office buildings, or you don't go outside most of the day. When you do, it's for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and you're not getting enough skin area for time exposed to intense enough sun to truly keep your vitamin D high. So I think we should think about supplementing. A lot of us, you should measure your levels. How about that?
Yeah.
You should come to an Optimize You or something like it and check your levels.
Yeah. That reminds me, it was just random tangent here, but I think it speaks to how we do things and not just looking at your labs. People are much more than numbers. There are symptoms and there are a lot of factors that go into somebody's treatment, I would assume, with you, more than what you're seeing as far as lab values. But my husband had an appointment with our family doctor, and they actually did check his vitamin D. I was like, a great start. Great start.
Good on that person.
But I heard him on, the phone reviewing his results, and everything was good. And she said, and your vitamin D, since it's within the therapeutic range, you can stop your supplement. We remind you, mind you, it was November. I was like, you're telling my husband going into the winter months that he should stop it. Like, is there any harm in taking vitamin D?
I don't want to dog that person out.
Sure.
I am not picking on whoever that was.
We love her,
actually. In fact, I want to give you a hug right now. But so what do you think's going to happen, especially in the winter? If you've taken your supplement and you've got to like the mid-normal range, so you're like, I don't know, 60, and you stop, it's going to fall. It's going to go down, and then you're going to restart it. So, no, I think I would probably keep that, if not in perpetuity, at least keep it at that moment.
Yeah.
But what was your next question? I'm sorry, you asked me another question before I got off on that tangent.
Oh,
You said,
well, I was going to ask if does.
is there a danger to too much?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, too much water will kill you.
Yeah.
So
difference between a pill and a poison, right?
Right.
Dose.
It's just very, very thin slice. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. A, D, E, and vitamin K are the fat-soluble vitamins. And they can build up over time. And the risk you're really looking for is too much calcium. Hypercalcemia is the risk of too much vitamin D. Let me just tell you a fun story. This is not medical advice. This is not tailored to you, specifically you that are listening to this. So I'm not advocating you do or don't do anything I say, but hear me when I say this as a clinician. I'm a PA in multiple states. And I would say, I have yet to see a vitamin D toxicity level. I've yet to see one. And I've seen, I don't know, 20,000 sets of labs or more, maybe more than that, probably more than that.
I just knocked on what I think is
Thank
wood.
you for me.
Yeah.
Yes. And by the way, I've seen vitamin Ds at, 200,
Wow.
which I think is high, but they still weren't hypercalcemic.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I did stop their vitamin D, obviously, or at least slow it down, but they weren't toxic at the time.
Great.
So does it exist in theory? Absolutely. Caution. Is it likely to happen with, air quote, reasonable levels of repletion orally? Doubt it. Doubt it.
It's possible.
It is possible.
Anything's possible.
It is very possible. But I don't think it, normal doses we talk about, 5,000 IU a day. And most people, you probably won't see toxicity. Probably won't. Your mileage may vary. This is not medical advice.
Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer.
Go check your levels. Like I said,
Yeah.
Go check. Would you, America, listen to me on this. Would you take a blood pressure pill without ever checking your blood pressure?
Hell no.
Why do we think it's okay to just blindly take stuff and not check some levels back?
Yeah.
Go check your levels.
There's no reason to not. Yeah. Spoiler alert. The summary to just about everything we talk about is coming to optimize you and check your levels.
Listen, I'm not that person. Even do we have a business, and would I like every person in the United States to come to me? Yeah. Is that feasible? No. Go to your family doc. Go to a clinic like mine if you can't come to one of mine. Go somewhere and check your levels.
There we go. What about melatonin? Is that in that category too with vitamin D? I hear that a lot. Melatonin's not a vitamin, it's a hormone.
It does have a lot of downchain action, similar to how vitamin D has multiple. Melatonin is used commonly for sleep and like mood regulation, but it also has other roles to play in that maybe even dysregulate the gonadotropins that control some hormone egg timer stimulation to start with. So I'm very cautious with it in like pre-teens, like just to blindly go, hey, take melatonin because your 13-year-old doesn't want to sleep, or 12-year-old or whatever. Cautious with it from a developmental standpoint. But yeah, I think it is in the same vein of D as it's like a hormone kind of.
Yeah. Okay, curveball question to throw at you.
Here we go. Edit this out.
Because I do hear this a lot. At the very least, it can be a hang up to even getting your hormones checked in the first place.
Okay.
And that is, especially with men, I hear it less so from women because I think women, at least the ones I talk to, can be so on board with feeling better that we're not really thinking about how many.
Are you saying women are better than men?
A little bit.
They are most of the time.
A little bit, in some ways. In
a lot of ways.
I know a lot of great men too. But it is this hang up of, I'm afraid to even go get tested and get started because what if I have to be on it forever? Like I can't just do hormone therapy temporarily and then fix everything and then stop.
Wait, is this a psychiatric counseling session or wait?
Right.
Here's the thing. If you have underlying problems and you do or don't feel good, and let's say you don't feel good because that's why you started thinking about checking your labs to start with, you're either going to let that brew and perpetuate and live years or decades not feeling well and not doing well and not thriving the way you want to, or you're going to suck it up, buttercup, and understand that sometimes the natural path of like, I'm just going to exercise and eat well and sleep well, it doesn't necessarily always fix the problems. Again, this is not 1920, and there are a lot of things in our environment that unfortunately interact with us in not so good of a way. Like, here here we go. I mean, microplastics, things in our water supply, like chemical interactions, the food table to begin with, like where our food comes from and how it's processed and how we process it. Our sleep cycles are dysregulated quite often because of screens and work schedules, and so there's a lot of endocrine disruption or life disruption that happens that you can't necessarily control. And so I'm not saying that like taking hormones fixes all those aspects. I'm saying they help combat some of the side effects of that. So to answer your question, you need to not be scared to look at your blood work. There's a whole lot more things to look at than just your hormones. Like, how about we just ascertain whether or not you have normal thyroid function and normal lipids and a healthy blood pressure and healthy normal kidneys. I mean, let's look at that. You got to look. And then the idea of being on forever. Well, the unfortunate reality is sometimes you do need things in perpetuity to keep you the way you want to be.
Sure.
And combat some of these effects of aging. I mean, I hate,
Strong
say it
word.
3 times. I hate the term anti-aging. I think it's more usually a marketing term, and it really feels snake oily, gross. But sometimes there's just not more appropriate term in the context we're having here.
Yeah.
I want to slow down the effects of aging. I'm not saying that hormones or anything we do here is a time machine. It doesn't exist. But again, do you see the 80-year-olds out there that are still like running marathons and still lifting weights and still doing the things they love to do, hiking, biking, boating, whatever? Yeah, they're out there now. And I think companies like ours are one of the avenues to help those people do that.
Yeah. You brought up something, and now I have to make you go on a soapbox a little bit and poke you a little bit. So I'm a little bit crunchy. I'm wearing natural deodorant right now.
Is it the native stuff? Is that what
it is?
Oh,
yeah. Oh no, this isn't the native. It's actually
no aluminum. No.
What is it?
It's like lavender and bergamot.
I don't know how to pronounce the brand name.
Coconut oil or something.
OA.
It doesn't seem to work as good sometimes. Sorry, native.
Stop it.
Sorry.
Stop it. I don't stink.
Sorry. You don't stink. No.
But I am a little bit crunchy, and I have to apologize on behalf of my crunchy community, because there's a lot of shame I see floating around in those circles of not taking synthetic substance, and if your body's not making it naturally, there's a reason, and there's a lot of shame that's just put on the health and wellness space in general.
Yet that same person has dry fit clothing on that's full of plastics.
Thank you from this, but that's the thing is I think that people discount just the reality of the world we're living in today and the environment, and that even the purest, cleanest, most off the grid green living is still exposed.
PFAS is still in them, by the way. If you don't know what PFAS is, PFAS, there's like several thousand of them known now. Go Google that and tell me it doesn't make you paranoid. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, but that's the point, is it's everywhere. I mean, go get a test to test some of these substances in your body, and they're in you. Yeah,
they're forever chemicals.
They are. That's why they call them forever chemicals. Yeah, and so the reality of there's a lot of great things to say about this modern world we're living in, but one of the downsides is that we're seeing population-wide hormone decline.
Sure.
That's part of the reason we're here, and we have this business is, there are things that we can do about it. So can you go on your own little soapbox about the realities of speaking against that shame?
That's a toughie. I guess what I'd say is no one can 100% do everything perfect 365 days a year. I don't, you don't listen to this. And it's nearly impossible to do everything right and then, avoid, let's just pick one. How about microplastics? They're in everything. It's in your car, it's on your upholstery on your furniture, it's in your clothing, it's in air fresheners, sprays you put on, flame retardants, silverware, food packaging. Here's a fun one. The linings are in the cans. They say they're BPA free or whatever. Okay. Well, there's like BPB, BPC, BPC2 now.
But it doesn't have the A one, Jerry.
I know.
Yeah.
And just because you negate one, there's 3 more behind it.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard to get away from that in 100% extreme. I think the shaming part is we got to do the best we can do with the cards we're dealt, right? So
sure.
So some people could eat really clean, exercise every day, drink, get the right sleep, but they can't afford to have the premium, everything else everybody have, the water filtrations. I get it. I get it.
You
I
know,
get
it's a
it.
great antidote to the shame. Feeling so good. Feeling so good. I'll tell you everything I'm on. I'll tell you the doses. I'll tell you the crude ways I apply it. I don't care. Like, I have no shame because it's one thing that's really cool about the space. And I hear there's some other people too. It's not just my story, but I didn't know how bad I felt until I felt good.
Yeah. Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And I think people like you and lots of people, patients I see, they're mentally tough. You know, you listening to me right now and you go, I feel good. I don't need any of their stuff. Maybe. Or is it just that you are mentally that person that says, I'm going to get this task done in my life, no matter what the cost to me personally, physically, financially, whatever. You just push through the tough times and you're like, I'm fine. Leave me alone. Are you?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Who knows? Well, let's end on the words synthetic, bioidentical. I think with hormones, people have kind of gotten over this hurdle because we call it now bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. That's kind of an industry accepted term.
Yeah.
Peptides, not so much. And so we don't call them bioidentical peptides.
Okay.
So with peptide chains, I hear people, that's one I see a lot too. It's like they're synthetic. What does that actually mean?
This could be its own podcast right
Sure.
here.
We won't, well, let's not go down the peptide rabbit hole, but
Yeah, we do a little. So here's what I'd say. I, as a provider, if I could, would choose to give you things, America, that are as natural as I can make them. What do I mean by that? Well, I like things your body makes, first of all, if I could use them. So let's talk about a hormone. I don't know, pick one. How about estrogen, estradiol? Would you like to have an estrogen put into you that's really never, ever made in a human? Maybe it comes from a chemical structure. Maybe it comes from another animal like horses, pregnant mare urine, premarin. Would you like to have that? Or would you like to have the one that is as similar, maybe based from like sweet potatoes or soy, mostly sweet potatoes, that's as chemically identical to the one that you make your whole life? Which one would you rather have?
I'll go with option B.
So that's the bioidentical version as opposed to a synthetic lab produced version. And all your hormones are made from cholesterol. Mm-hmm. And your liver starts this process of turning these cholesterol esters into functional, usable steroid sex hormones. And so the closer we can mimic that, I think the better we do long term without a bunch of down chain metabolic endpoints. So what do I mean by that? Well, if I give you a bunch of chemical stuff that your body's not used to making or seeing, and your liver and your kidneys have to process that, not only is that taxing at that moment, but what do those metabolites do to you that we don't really know? And how do they interact with the other 40 supplements you take? It's probably not been studied in a lot of cases. So I like bioidentical because it's the most similar to what your body made as opposed to a synthetic. Now, the peptide thing, this is the Wild West. Yeah. What does peptide mean? Well, peptides just mean it's a chain of amino acids in a certain order and a certain length. So there's plenty of examples of peptides that are made in your body. Insulin's one. That's a great one. And so growth hormone's another. Would I like to give you a peptide to do something you want it to do that's as most similar to what your body already makes? Yeah.
Sure.
I don't think that some of the other peptides that aren't necessarily as natural, I don't know that they're harmful all the time, but they haven't been studied as well. So I'm cautious with some of them. Okay. I'm cautious with a lot of them. But again, I want to use the things that are naturally made in your body as close as I can, as best as I can, and in doses that kind of mimic how your body would have made them when you're super healthy and young. That's kind of the goal, right? So I look at bioidentical things like they're probably, I don't like the word better, but they're just better. How about that?
They're just better, you guys. They're just better, America. Well, we'll do a deep dive on peptides another day.
That could
We'll
be
talk
its
about
own
all
thing.
your favorites.
That could be like an hour more discussion of just that, because patients come into me all the time. And they come to our other providers because I hear these talks, and they go, "I want peptides," and the provider's like, "Well, which one?" Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I thought they were just one thing."
It's like walking into a restaurant and saying, "I want food."
Yeah,
Give
right.
me food.
Yeah. Or go into a car lot and go, "I just need a vehicle." Like, oh, well, what's your budget? What do you want it to do? What are you going to do with it every day? What color do you want? You want a car or a truck or a minivan, or what do you want? I mean, peptides is a very generic term.
Better mechanics, better aesthetics. What do you want?
Right. Right. So
yeah. Well, thanks for joining me today, Jerry.
Thanks for having me. I love when we do this. I love coming to Nashville and recording with you. Although we did our last one in Paducah, and it was good too.
It was great too.
Did we release any of those yet?
Not yet, but
they're
coming
for
soon.
Those. Like, America, you need to watch these. These are good.
Yes. Any parting words for America?
Know your levels. Like, there should not be at this point. We make it affordable. You can walk into most of my clinics nationwide, and for less than $200, know a significant amount about how your body's functioning at that moment. And you don't have to worry about insurance. You don't have to wait. You do need to be fasted for most of the things, but you could walk in without an appointment in a lot of them and just get a test done, and 3 or 4 days later know some answers.
And when he says know more about your body, he's not just talking about the pages that are in front of you. He's talking about an hour with a provider who can help you unpack it all.
I think that's another important point, is not only knowing your numbers, but having contact with somebody that knows what to do with those numbers, and how do they read the tea leaves for you, try to predict the future a bit about what these how they interact with each other. What is the 4 different parameters of how your liver and kidneys are working together mean? You need a provider that sits down with you long enough to know you. This is to me, this is at least an hour. Like, this is an hour talk, at least. We got to know you. We got to know our numbers and our data, and know what to do with them, and what your goals are, and what you're willing to do and not do, and what you can afford. Like, you have to come to a clinic like this. I'm not saying just mine. I'm saying you have to put the effort in to do that for yourself.
Yeah. You have to know all of that before you can make a treatment plan.
That's right. It's not as easy as just, oh, everybody walks in the door, just gets this drug and they're fixed. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. And I'm not dogging out any particular clinic. I'm just saying, lots of times I feel like you go to a place and you pay your money, and they're like, well, your labs are great, and here's your drug, and we'll see you next month for your payment. That's not really care. That's not really optimizing. That's just medicating someone. That doesn't fix the problem.
Yeah.
Don't go to a place like that.
Come to a place like Optimize You.
Optimize You won't do that to you.
That's a guarantee. All right. Well, thanks, Jerry.
Thank you.